Where we at with it? It's your boy Jangma, and today I'm gonna go over some of the worst recent playoff performances of all time. Not even recent, but just some of the worst of all time. You know, like the Klay Thompson game where he went 0 for 10, stuff like that, man. So I made another video like this, so make sure to put a link in the description, and I'll link it at the end of this video as well. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you do enjoy the video, and comment down below whatever you like, whatever you want to see me do next. If you got any video suggestions or ideas, I'm all for it. So yeah, man, without further ado, let's get it.
6 seed down to the 9 seed that forced him into this play-in game. Now losing Herder for a good chunk of his game here tonight as Jackson Davis can't finish it. Able to push their Sabonis. And now Thompson lets it fly. 39.5% from three-point range this season.
I forgot Chris Paul was on this team.
There's Lyles with a rebound. Beat Utah.
So it's like years ago. This is
Get
crazy.
out of the 10 spot though as Klay Thompson misses again. Thompson still looking for his first. Klay Thompson. Warriors trying to get Thompson going here. He's over.
That's crazy because like these aren't even bad looks. Like these are shots you could easily make.
Thompson drives. Thompson. No whistle there either.
That could have been a foul.
They're defending.
Ooh, behind the back.
I guess
Pull up.
away with one on Thompson, and so we get let the Warriors get away.
Curry had a quick 5 to start this third quarter. Thompson shakes Murray. Thompson in and out.
In and
You
out.
can't buy one. Murray with a back tap, and Curry's got it. Curry now pushes it. Scoops one to Thompson. They need it badly. Thompson misses again. He is 0 for 9. 29 points comes at a
Keegan
big
Murray was
shot.
going crazy. Oh my
Murray
god.
pounded defensively. Here is Thompson. Another miss.
That's brutal, bro. What really makes that Klay Thompson performance crazy is the fact that those weren't bad shots. He was taking good shots, like, or Klay Thompson shots at least. He makes stuff like that for the most part. I just don't remember it being that bad. I remember watching that game live, and I did not even realize Klay Thompson was 0 for 10. I also didn't realize Chris Paul was on that team. That was what, 2 years ago? That felt like a while ago, but that's pretty bad. I am not gonna lie to you. In a playing game, you lose the game that ends your season. It's a bad way to go out, but the stakes weren't as high, you know, so we'll see how it compares to the other two games. Up next, we have James Harden's Game 6 choke in 2017. I remember watching this live, and this game was a blowout, if I remember correctly. Harden, Game 5, it was like tied 2-2. Game 5, Manu blocked him from behind, and the Spurs took the lead 3-2. In Game 6, he showed up absolutely flat, and he got tore up by the media the day after, by like Stephen A. Smith, by First Take, everyone. They tore him up, and this is really where the unclutch, the choke, he's a choker.
To eliminate the Rockets and advance to the conference finals.
Wow, this is so 2017. They got the beard. They used to still call him the beard.
Magical season, putting up historic numbers during the regular season.
Those
More
Rockets
incredible
were
numbers
nice,
in the
too.
playoffs, but does not want it to end tonight. Meanwhile, the Rockets have been excellent at home throughout the season. Capella shot. Oh, nice tipping with his offhand. Like that was a pass by Harden. They'll need him without Parker, without Leonard, as Ariza knocks down the 3.
And Mike, that's such a difference.
Here's Harden, steps back and throws it away. You talked about the three-pointer.
Why did he pass out of that?
It's a small guy guarding a big.
That's only happened throughout the history of the NBA. Now, the NBA will say that doesn't happen. Oh, but it does.
Gasol. Boy, Harden does a nice job there, making him take a fall-away jumper. Good job battling on the post by James Harden. Harden on the drive and draws the foul. And he'll shoot his first free throws with his team down by 4. Stolen by Murray.
That's a terrible
Murray
pass.
finds Green cutting, and Green with the finish. DeJounte Murray taking advantage of the smaller Harden defending him. Big-time play by Alden. On the defensive end.
She's a 20.
And the two-time defensive player of the year, Ariza. That's good. Boy, do the Rockets need that one. Trevor Ariza with his second 3. Field goals in 11 minutes. Bad pass stolen by Mills. And lays it up
These
and
are
in.
terrible
James Harden with his
passes.
4th turnover already. He had 9. Pulls back three-pointer. That's good. His first field goal. And it took almost a quarter and a half.
His first field goal was in the middle of the second quarter.
Harden foul by Ginobili. That'll be Ginobili's first. Harden wanted it in the act of shooting, but he won't get it. And we'll take a timeout. Well, they are going to now say it's in the act of shooting. Greg Popovich not happy.
Back at Houston, Spurs up 18. It's been their defense putting on a clinic, and James Harden, too passive, too tentative, not aggressive. Turned the corner, not thinking score. Trying to pass the basketball again, turning off the pick and roll, thinking pass.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Kobe Game 7 against the Suns in 06 when they were like coming back from 3-1. It might have been that series. I don't remember. But I remember in Game 7, I wasn't alive. Well, I was alive, but I didn't watch it live. Of course, I watched highlights and shit. I was watching it, and I'm like, the talking points were just about how Kobe was so passive. Meanwhile, they were getting on his ass for being so aggressive. Well, not being aggressive, but like being like, oh, this team. They didn't really believe his team was that bad, and his team was that bad. So Kobe kind of like, I don't know, not proved a point, but he was just so passive in that Game 7, and they went home, and that just like kind of showed like kind of the world like what he was really dealing with, I guess.
Basketball creating high percentage offense for the Spurs. James Harden with just one field goal attempt thus far. He's got to be better to give this team a chance to win.
You see almost as many turnovers. Harden finds Ariza. Ariza able to connect wide open.
And that's what they're willing to live with as Harden turns it over. I think Aldridge in there needs to shoot without a dribble.
Murray throws it away. Harden the other way. Harden, the 5 turnovers, gets it to Ariza. Ariza misses badly. Capella back out. Ariza drives.
And they're starting Ryan Anderson this half instead of Eric Gordon.
Harden wanted a foul there. He felt that Simmons, very difficult that time. Good drive, just couldn't finish.
Jonathan Simmons.
And in large part due to their defense. Pick and roll defense, alert on the weak side. Patty Mills plays the passing lane into a basket, and then they're doing a great job of being disciplined against Harden, pulling their hands back and forcing him to try to finish oversized. Once again, don't foul him, contest late, and Harden missed.
Patty Mills now and him on the switch. Harden finds some room, 3-pointer. Green the rebound.
They're not going to make mistakes. They're not going to give you 3-point uncontested shots time and time again. You're going to have to beat them.
Harden hits the 3, just his second field goal. Anderson deflects it from Harden, gets it back and lost it again. 6 turnovers for James Harden. Ariza and Green going at it. James Capers gets between them as they score down the other end. Harden drives, layup, missed it. Anderson deflects it, out of bounds. Nope, saved by Patty Mills.
And that's 2-point blank layups. One by Ariza and one by Harden in a row. That's good offense. It's just, you got to make.
His fault. But you also have to recognize this is not the way as Ariza knocks down the shot. This is not the way they play.
It has been a nightmare game for James Harden as he's fouled as he crosses half court with 1:04 remaining. Rockets down by 25.
We believe you, Mike.
Hey, I'll be feeling like that too. James Harden was performing like this.
It has been an
This is
awful night here for
brutal.
Rocket
This is a
fans.
30-point game in the fourth. I'd start
His
to
teams
leave.
are hard to play against. And that's exactly
Yikes.
what he has had for his entire run in San Antonio. A team that is hard to play against.
Looking to make plays for his teammates instead of scoring, and then when he tried to attack, just didn't get the roll. Give this Spurs credit defense, but James Harden could not get it going all night long. Struggling.
Only see James Harden as finds Eric Gordon, and Gordon hits a 3-pointer, just his second field goal.
He's
Ariza
passing
counted
the
and a
ball.
foul.
He's not even like looking to create for himself.
Him being in the MVP discussion with Russell Westbrook. He had an all-time great season. Deserves a lot of credit. It's just been a bad ending for him and this team.
Heading for the exits as the Rockets season going up in flames here tonight. Ariza back out to Harden. Simmons has played brilliantly on the defensive end against Harden. Harden now 2 for 10. Positiveness, but hard to look at it if you're with the Rockets right now, with the way this game went. Harden missed. 37 minutes, 2 for 11 from the field.
I'm not gonna lie to you, y'all. That I think that's worse than the Klay Thompson performance. All right, and let me explain why. Game 6, Western Conference semifinals. James Harden, he's your best player. Klay, he wasn't even like, we all knew he was like quote unquote washed, right? He had the 2 ACL or Achilles, like he came back from a lot. So shout out to him. But although scoring 0 points was pretty bad, I don't even think he was looked at as he was like the 3rd or 4th best player, looked at as the 3rd or 4th best player on the team at the time. James Harden was coming off MVP conversations with Westbrook. Westbrook won that year, of course, but Harden, mind you, he won the MVP the year after, and he went out sad like this. It's really hard to honestly watch this game. Jonathan Simmons, shout out to him, man. I forgot about him. Spurs legend. He really put the Spurs defense, they masterclass in this game. But Harden, I don't know though. I feel like this game doesn't get brought up enough. This is a stinker, man. This is bad. But anyways, let's get to game 3, bro. Put it in the corner. So I'm just letting y'all know right now, I could not find any highlights of this or lowlights of John Starks. I would have to go through the game and kind of chop it up and just kind of go through everything. And personally, I don't feel like doing all that. I love y'all, but I ain't gonna do all that. So I got a Secret Base video pulled up. I love Secret Base. I feel like they make great content. If you don't watch them, you should check them out.
The
but let's
NBA
get
Finals
through
has the Houston Rockets hosting the New York Knicks. It's Olajuwon versus Ewing, Oakley versus Ori. A young Kenny Smith with so much hope in his eyes thanks to limited exposure to Charles Barkley. And then, the Knicks MVP through the first 6 games, John Starks. In a series loaded with talent and high-quality 90s mustaches, Starks came to play, especially when New York needed a late boost. Coming into Game 7, the Knicks guard was averaging 19 plus per game. He had put up double-digit fourth quarters in Games 4, 5, and 6, and in Game 3, Starks almost sent the game to overtime with a 3, but was fouled by Olajuwon and was awarded 2 free throws because the NBA rulebook was trash. Starks also nearly ended the series a few nights earlier, when he got off a last-second 3, only to have Olajuwon get one of his beef tips on it, forcing this 7th game to crown the champ. The opening tip, the teams trade baskets, mistakes, and the lead during a back-and-forth first quarter. New York spreads the ball around early on, so Starks doesn't have too many chances in the first half. He bricks a few shots, sinks a couple free throws, loses his man on defense, has to sit for most of the second quarter after picking up his 2nd foul, and then on this rebound, his 3rd. With Starks on the bench for the final 3 minutes of the half, the team sloppily swap possessions before this beautiful reminder of how little we worried about phrasing in the 90s. The teams head to their locker rooms with a close game at the break. Rockets 45, Knicks 43. Starks is 1 for 6 for 4 points and so blissfully unaware that it's all downhill from here. On to the third quarter, and whatever speech Pat Riley gave at halftime must not have involved Starks. With 3 minutes remaining, he finally gets a chance, and although open, can't bury the 3.
And John is starting to show a little frustration right now.
Stomping his feet to remind his teammates that he does still exist, Starks eventually gets the ball and tries to work on his short game, but his pal Olajuwon says otherwise. On top of his poor shooting, Starks continues to struggle guarding Maxwell. Despite his play, the Knicks are managing to keep it close, down 63-60 going into the fourth quarter, where I'll let someone else remind you of how good he's been.
He has been Mr. Fourth Quarter for the New York Knicks.
After padding the only stat he seems to care about tonight with his 4th foul, Starks again tries to make something happen by driving to the basket, and gets fouled himself. He knocks down these free throws, remembers how good that feels, and the Knicks know that the fourth quarter is his time. As New York begins force-feeding him the ball, Starks fires from 3 and misses everything, thanks to Ori getting a piece of it. On the ensuing inbound, Starks comes off a screen for an open 3, which rattles out. The Knicks keep looking to free him up on screens, and he rewards them with more missed 3s. Okay, so forget the screens. He gets open on transition for a clean shot that clanks off the rim and leads to an easy jam for the Rockets. Rockets up 7 with 5:28 remaining, and just like that, Starks is 1 for 13, 0 for 5 in the fourth.
I know the Knicks have stayed with the philosophy of going with John Starks, but I would think to reach a point, hey, you gotta stop shooting.
Look, Marv, I don't come to your house and tell you how to shit, so don't tell the Knicks how to lose basketball games. They just keep on feeding the man, and Starks keeps throwing the food past his mouth as he starves to death in full view of the world. Robert Horry helps out by stealing a pass intended for Starks to prevent further suffering. Then, the next time Starks has an opportunity, he passes out of an open shot. Ewing shows some solidarity for John by missing a 3, and Starks actually lays in the rebound to cut the lead to 5. Could this actually be the Starks of old? He sticks with the short game on the next possession, throwing up a contested layup that leads to a foul on Oakley, but that makes it a 3-point game. Hope is alive. The Knicks could pull this off. Clutch City could never become clutch. Or Starks picks up his 5th foul, Maxwell hits another 3 right in his face, and for Starks and the Knicks, it all unravels. Despite the slight pulse he showed earlier, he misses 1, 2, 3 more 3-pointers, capping it off with an air ball that the Rockets catch, kill clock, and hit free throws to lock up the championship.
And people are probably wondering, what in the world is Pat Riley doing staying with John Starks in this ballgame?
Starks finished the game going 2 for 18, going 0 for 11 from 3, and 1 for 10 in the fourth quarter alone. He went from being their late game savior to being the comparison for when people can't buy a 3. The Rockets would go on to repeat the following year, while the Knicks would get bounced in another memorable and tortuous way. John Starks made some big plays throughout his career, but we'll remember him best for a quarter that he'd rather play back. So the next time...
That was horrible. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know if it's debatable. Let me know what y'all think, man. I do really think that's the worst performance. 2 of 18? Stop shooting, bro. 2 of 18. And they still get Pat Riley. I didn't even know he was coaching the Knicks. I knew he coached Miami and then became, management, but I did not know he was coaching the Knicks. That is a really bad performance. Wow. So, now that we finished all 3, if I had to rank them, it has to be John Starks 1. I'm sorry. To just do a complete 180 and cost your team the game like that is wild. Game 7 of the finals, mind you. This is higher stakes than both of those other games combined. So, that has to be 1 for sure. 2 of 18 is crazy. Starks 1, Harden 2, and Clay 3. While Clay's performance was pretty bad because he didn't score any points, I personally can't put them over the other 2 games we watched because of the stakes on the line. There's just too much on the line in those other games. But yeah, man, that's all I got. Please like and subscribe, follow, whatever. Check out my other videos, and I'm out, man. Peace.